So there's your camshaft seal that has puked a bunch of oil.
There you go.
Woo-hoo-hoo, we're flying.
And then
Shift. Oh.
now we have no gears.
Well, thanks for the coffee, guys. While you're gone, I discovered the real reason why I didn't want to run for you. We've got, a cap here. This is your spark plug distributor cap.
Remove the light, you can't really see.
Sorry. And that's pretty bad. And then we've also got here your rotor button. I don't know if you can really see. I'll pull it off here in a second. But you've got all of this is arcing, and the insulator itself is all blown out too, so it's not doing its job at all. So basically you got good spark from your coil and it's just being blasted all over the cap inside there, and it's just misfiring. And yeah, so it's doing that to both sides. And then actually this side has a camshaft seal leaking, so that's why you've got oil around here. And so we're gonna have to get one of those in. But yeah, same thing, pretty good and burned here. So typically what I'd do to kind of prolong it is I'd come here and clean all this up with, some sort of metal and some sandpaper just to bring it back for a little bit. But fortunately I had a good use set here from a car from a while ago that I'm going to put on. And yeah, it's a little dirty, but it's actually pretty nice inside, and I've got rotor buttons as well. So there's actually a date stamp on these, in case you were wondering. Right in the center. All of this is a match set from a 96. So whether it be on a parts shelf in 96 or maybe, I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and replace this, and I'll show you some better shots of what's going on here. So sometimes when you get these, and I've had it happen just a handful of times, but occasionally this could look pretty good, but you'll still get, a couple cylinders that are dead. And what can happen is the backside of it can crack or whatever, and it'll actually arc through and go through and hit your metal here and ground out. And basically you're just not getting any spark to anything. So that's always something to look at. Even if these look good to you guys, on your car, you're like, oh, just a little burn, no big deal. It doesn't hurt just to pop it, just 3 screws, and try not to round them out. But yeah, sit there and take a look at everything and make sure it's, good or bad. So here's the color they're supposed to look like. And then when they're old and beat and have had some miles on them, they turn into this. And then the other thing too is this guy here that, hold your rotor button is actually keyed to your camshaft. So you want to make sure that you get that in and seat it all the way in correctly. Otherwise, you'll have some problems. So inside here, behind all of that, is in fact a camshaft seal. And you can actually get in there with a pick or a punch, and you sit there and you drive that out, work it out, and you can replace that. It's always good if you're going this deep, you might as well have one, just ready to go in, because it doesn't hurt. It's good insurance. There you go. So yeah, like I said, you get your keyway, and you can sit there and set it any way that you want. You just put light pressure on it until it drops in, and then just wiggle it around and make sure that it's all the way in there. And then usually it'll just be, barely off your insulator there. So there's your camshaft seal that has puked a bunch of oil. And that'll actually load up the distributor cap and prematurely, causing things to arc out and degrade.
So we're going to replace that, right?
Yeah, so we're going to sit here and replace this as well. I did manage to get this side all knocked out. And then, unfortunately, I don't have a set of wires that I can put on here because some of this is arced, and then this guy's been pinched and actually has a cut in it. So this is all stuff you need to look at. So here's a cut in the wire. You can actually open it up some. But then you can even see some white chafing or traces of arcing. And so when I see stuff like that, I just know it's been on there for a long time. It's a good idea to replace it. That way it does a good job of, you know, making the car run. So I think this came out of a low mileage E60, so I'm blessing Cameron with something very special. And that's a E60 Limited. Here's a prime example of how to get these screws out if they do grind up. You sit there and you can grind down some of the screw and put a flat blade screwdriver in there to get that to come out, because I've run into where these little Allens do like to round out and then you cannot remove it. So this being used, I'm going to sit here and remove this and steal one from the bad cap and the bad rotor buttons. They're all rough, and it's fun to watch them get revived and put back in use and enjoyed. And it's kind of nice to bring back old Mercedes when they've lived such a hard life. And it's pretty incredible just to do a minimal amount of work and get it to do such a, you know, have it be such an impact on drivability. So what I like to do is get a pick inside here and loosen up this rubber, and that allows me to pull on the wire a lot easier, because sometimes that rubber likes to stick, and if it does, good luck. And you could sometimes just break it loose like that. You give it a little turn and you'll be able to get it off. God damn.
I didn't think it was going to be that good.
God damn. So my good friend who owned this car before did in fact confirm the dates of ownership, and it falls in line with the Carfax report that we have. I'm waiting for him to send me some old pictures on it, and yeah, maybe we'll get him to come through and we can reminisce on some of the fun we used to have in it, and we can all have a laugh at some of the Brabus things that got installed. In his defense, it is all German, you know, eBay, so some of it might be authentic, but some of it definitely not. It is missing its Brabus wheels, and then it did in fact have a Brabus front lip spoiler. And yeah, like I said, he did enjoy it for those few years, and it got quite a bit of love, you know, while he did have it. And unfortunately, it went somewhere, and I think they loved it quite less. So yeah, we have it here. I guess we'll bring it up and make it nicer and see what we can get out of it. But for right now, the ignition's happier again. It still needs a set of plugs and probably a set of wires and even coils just to kind of round it all out. And then just on the brief drive that I did, it's very low on power. So I'm going to take a look at the cat, maybe knock the pipe loose for the bypass pipe from the left cylinder bank to the right cylinder bank, and right there at the pre-cat, and see if we get some power back. I'll let you know in a little bit. All right, so here's the pipe I was referring to. And basically, it's just a point in the exhaust that I can open up to relieve some of the exhaust pressure, because I believe the cat itself is clogged. And so yeah, it's gonna be a little bit louder, and it'll be a little bit more enjoyable, hopefully, that we get some power back. So we'll find out, see if this is a good test or not. Shift? Oh!
Now we have no gears?
Nah. We got gears.
You go on second.
Oh, the headliner held up pretty good.
Yeah, it did. Just this one roof step. But
Yeah. Oh, we got a gear.
You get 1 and 2, but that's it. There you go.
Whoop, 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 we're flying.
And then,
Oh,
Keep going. There you go.
that's all right. I think second's good for what, like 80 miles an hour almost?
Close. But it rides pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was bummed. These are really fun when they have good power. There.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this one. You're taking into the fenders.
Yeah. I think we got a weak cylinder.
Or two.
Woohoo!
Or the timing's messed up.
Yeah. 80.
It's not right because it's 180 miles.
Don't ruin my fun.
There's nothing there. First and second were great.
Yeah. Look at the wood underneath is nice.
Yeah, it just needs a fresh clear. It's funny how it whistles.
Yeah. But I cracked it loose at the exhaust manifold and at the merge pipe, collector pipe, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think if the front end came off the ground maybe a little bit and had a nice set of wheels put on and maybe got some more gears out of it, some paint, a bit more interior work. This shot of it back in its prime.
Well, what do you say? Do we return it to its prime, or do we leave it as the ratty E420 baby 500E that it is? We're thinking about a manual swap instead of trying to fix the old 4-speed auto. What does Paul say?
Just let it go.
Let it go. Put your ideas below. We look forward to seeing what y'all have to say. Well, hit that subscribe button and that like button if you want to see more of Paul complaining about our questionable car purchase decisions.
I just don't want any more of my old ones.
Oh, okay. So we just have to buy ones he's not seen before. But we look forward to seeing y'all on the next video.